friends! Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are back with another long-term review of my stationery essentials, and today we are going to be talking about the Superior Labor Utility Case. Like my last long-term review video where I talked about my TSL pen wallet, this will be more of a feelings and experience-based review rather than a highly technical one. I haven't intentionally stress test this, and I can't really tell you a lot about the details of what this is made of, apart from knowing that it's a leather product. What I can tell you about is my experiences having used it on a daily basis for over a year, and I have some thoughts. If this is something you'd be interested in watching, please stick around. Before we get into it, I want to invite you to grab something nice to drink. I am currently working on a coffee at the moment, and a cozy activity to keep you company while we hang out. The utility leather case that I have is light brown. It does come in 4 colors: black, light brown, dark brown, and natural. It has a zipper that spans 3 full sides and then partial 4th side with this band on the back just to help it lay flat. So it's a double zipper, and you can zip it and let it lay open flat, which is something I really appreciate about this utility case. So unlike my pen wallet, which is open only 2 sides, I like this because then it feels like it's securing my pens. This one opens all the way. It has a light brown lining and brass zipper, and there is a zippered pouch or pocket on the left side, and then there is a pouch with a flap on it, and I usually tuck the top of the pouch behind my pens and markers just because I do have some pretty tall tombos, and I find that when I have the flap out, it doesn't quite, I'll show you. It's a little bit awkward. This is what it looks like with the flap on the outside, but as I mentioned, I usually tuck it behind. Yeah, if I can find footage of when I first got this and unboxed it, I will insert it here. In terms of measurements, I think I found these measurements off the Baumkuchen website. It says that it is approximately 19 centimeters in length. So, yep. And about 7 3/4. So, yep, in terms of length. In terms of width, we've got about 4.75 and then approximately 11. Yeah, about 11 centimeters. And then in terms of height, we are at about 6 centimeters and about 2 1/4 inches. First, I can take you through what I've been storing in here, and then we can start testing to see how much we can actually fit in here. As I've mentioned in my other video, in the past, I like putting my pen wallet in here, and I find that it actually fits quite nicely tucked inside. So when I'm traveling, I do like to put my pen wallet inside here just for some extra protection. But when I'm at home, I don't really store it in here because I'm just accessing both of these things so frequently that it's just easier for me sometimes to carry this on its own. But I do like the fact that I can fit it in here. It was an unexpected discovery. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but I really like it. So I normally have this repurposed coffee filter. So we use cloth filters with our Chemex at home, and every so often we have to retire them because I find that you can only clean them so many times before they stop working as filters. I like to use these for whenever I'm dealing with ink because it just catches inevitable splatters. So I always have one of these in here. And then I have these folders. So last year for the Hobonichi fall release, I really fell in love with the little gifts cover, but I didn't want to invest in the cover, and even if I had wanted to, they were really hard to get. So I ended up getting the folder sets instead, and I'm really glad that I did because I think they're a little more functional for me. In this folder, I have some PET tapes. These are mainly PET tapes that I got from Danielle from my Dandelion Diaries. And then in this folder, I have all my transfer stickers. I really love using transfer stickers, but they are expensive. These are my favorite because they don't add any bulk to my cousin. And then these are some washi stickers. So I've had these for so long, and honestly, I normally use these when I'm writing letters to friends. So I might actually move this into a different folder because it's so rare that I reach for this on a daily basis. In the right pocket, I often have these 4 Tombow markers. So I use these specific colors for different events when I'm doing my weekly planning. And I just keep them consistent instead of changing up the themes by week, so that every time I see this green, I know that it refers to a specific event. And then the same with these. So because I've chosen relatively neutral colors, they match almost any ink that I use in my cousin. So I really like the consistency of that. I also have these 2 other colors. So I tend to use these in my health and wellness trackers. I take note of the weather, and usually I'm using this color for sunny days, and then I usually use this gray for clouds. And then I also have this Hobonichi pen that comes with orders when you order directly from their official website. And I typically use this with any kind of stenciling that I do. So I tend to draw the stars with this Hobonichi stencil, and I find that that works a lot better than trying to use a fountain pen, because I tried that once, and fountain pen ink and stencils don't really play well with each other. I also have one of these calligraphy pens. I know it has a fancier name that I cannot recall right now. This one is the soft tip, and I got this in a pack of 2. So there's a hard tip and a soft tip. And since I can't read Japanese, I ended up using a piece of washi tape around the end so that I could recognize it. I've had this for over 6 years and it still has ink in it, so it's remarkable how long these last for. Although I'm not using this on a daily basis like I used to. This dates back to my bullet journaling days and I used it all the time. This is a great little marker. And then I have 2 pencils. So this pencil is actually from an artist named Lee Ellickson. I really love Lee's work, and I actually really like using pencils like this when I'm drawing. It just, I don't know. I prefer to sketch with a pencil like this. Because it doesn't have a cap, I just used some scrap paper, rolled it around multiple times just to make it more stiff, and then I just used washi tape and regular Scotch tape to close off the end, and this helps prevent getting pencil marks everywhere. And then I have a mechanical pencil for situations where I really want to have a precise line, but I don't reach for this that often, to be honest. I'm mostly reaching for this. So that's everything that I currently have in this pocket. And I will say, when I first got this, I don't think I have any footage of it, but I distinctly recall like Tombow markers just not really fitting very well. And I mean, you can see here that the lid of the Tombow marker is already hitting this, I'm not sure what this is called, like part of the liner. So what I used to do is I would have my pens in this pouch, and then I would have one Tombow marker diagonally floating on the outside. And I always found that really annoying because I do prefer using these Tombow markers. They don't bleed. And eventually I found that if I had like a row of shorter pens lining the bottom, just enough to kind of cover this bottom, then I could fit my Tombow markers in like a second row, if that makes sense. So it's a little bit higher up, and it is a tight fit, but it brought me so much joy to realize that I can actually store my Tombows in here. I don't know if this is because this has stretched over time. It could be. I don't think it was intended to fit the Tombow, but if you do get one of these and your Tombows don't fit, there is a chance that it will stretch and allow you to have these in here if that's something that you want. And as far as I can see, I don't think it has ruined the integrity of this in any way. Like, it doesn't seem like it's misshapen or anything, so I'm happy that I'm able to keep these around. In this zippered pouch, I have 4 of these Deco Rush tapes. What I normally use these for is to denote birthdays. Next up, I have these cat-shaped sticky notes. I also keep a bunch of washi tape samples in here. These are some of my favorite washi tapes that I find that I'm always reaching for. I just wrap them around business cards, and you can see I've actually used them up pretty well. And then these are part of samplers that I purchased from other artists. So Mary Berry Studio is an artist that I have followed for a really long time. Again, dates back to my bullet journaling days. This sample is from an artist that has closed their shop. So unfortunately, when I run out of these, I won't be able to replenish them. I think it was Procrastinator Co., which is such a fabulous name. I have an eraser. I have 2 Traveler's Notebook brass clips to keep the inserts laying flat. I always have a glue stick. And then last but not least, I have a pair of scissors. I've had these scissors for a really long time. I'm always worried that it's going to poke a hole through this fabric somehow. So I did make a little cap for it with paper. This used to be really tight, but it has loosened up quite a bit. So I'm either going to have to make a new one, or at some point I would love to invest in scissors that are a little more safe. I've seen that there are some scissors that are like the shape of a pen. I don't know how comfortable they are, so I'm hesitant to invest in them until I try one out. Or when I was younger, we used to have those scissors that would fold up and you could keep them on your keychain. That's another option, although I remember those scissors being really uncomfortable around your fingers. It's not a need, it's a want, but it would be nice to eventually get a pair of scissors that I wouldn't have to worry might, cut into something. So that's everything that I currently have in my utility case. So I'm gonna set that aside. So a couple of videos ago, a viewer named Sonicas Taveras, hopefully I pronounced that right, I apologize if I didn't, asked 2 questions, and I think they're pretty related to each other. So the questions were the size of the right pocket, particularly its depth, and whether it can fit 2 rows of non-fountain pen pens. So let's give that a try and see what we could fit. In terms of the depth, I'm not really sure how to measure it. If I hold it up, the pocket it does extend quite a bit. I would say it's about 3.5 centimeters to this point, and like 1.5 inches. I have a bunch of my Muji pens in here, so I thought we could start with this to see what we can fit. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I like that you can also clip these here. 11, 12, so we've got 12, and I've also got some mild liners, so let's just see how many we can fit. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I don't think I would ever really put 25 in here. It does bulk up quite a bit, but for the sake of seeing how far this pocket can stretch, and if I really wanted to, I think I could fit 1 or 2 more. And then in terms of this zippered pocket, I thought it could be interesting to see how many washi tapes I could fit in here. So I've got some over on the side here, and I'm just going to start putting some in. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll just go with these standard size. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's pretty bulked out. So 15 washi tapes and 25 markers. And you could still fit things on the side here. Like I could still fit my glue stick. I could fit my clips in here. And it would be kind of tight, but it does close. It's a lot bulkier, but you can see how much it really comes out on the side if you wanted to. Let me know if you have any other questions about what else can fit in here. You can easily fit a passport-sized traveler's notebook in here, so I thought that was pretty cool. If you wanted to travel, you could put your passport in here, and then you could have all of your supplies like in this pocket. I think if you really wanted, you could even fit the passport in here. So that's another option. So say you had your passport in here, maybe your pen wallet in here. That could be a really nice little way to carry some of your more valuable items. The other thing that I was curious about is a Techo original. I didn't think it would fit with the cover, so I already took the cover out. But as you can see, it does fit, which I think is really cool. I don't know if this will fit in here. I don't think I would ever want to, but I mean, I guess you could fit it in like this if you wanted it to not be like floating around. So that's kind of cool. You could fit it in that way. Last time I traveled, I emptied this out of my stationery stuff because I didn't expect I was going to be needing to access it. And instead, I put things like my Apple Watch charger, this wall charger. I found that was really handy to just have like this one section for all of those things. Of course, you can use other pencil cases or whatever to store them, but I did think it was pretty handy because I think I was able to fit quite a lot of like charger related things in here. So usually when Mike and I travel, we both bring our Apple Watch chargers, iPhone chargers, and just that alone is quite bulky. So I found it really helpful to have this pouch here. And then in the side here, I could put passports or whatever, like documents, or some stationery stuff could remain in here. So how have my thoughts changed over a year? Overall, I still really love this utility case. I do use it every day, and when I'm sitting at my desk, I like to keep it open like this where I can easily access my markers, which I do tend to reach for on a pretty regular basis. Or I'll just have it unzipped but closed, so it just takes up less space on my desk, and then I can easily have it open and I can access what I need. When I'm wanting to use my journal on the couch, I really like having this because I can still access a lot of my things even if I'm not sitting at my desk. The leather itself has softened since I got it. It's gotten a lot more pliable, and I was going on and on about how soft the leather was here in my last video, and the back of this is actually like pretty similar in terms of being soft. So I don't really see any visible like patina. I mean, I guess there's a little bit here on the back, but overall, I think this one has a little more wear to it, probably because as I'm reaching for my pens, I'm constantly opening and closing this wallet. But here, I'm mainly unzipping it once in the morning, keeping it open or keeping it unzipped, and at the end of the day, I'm zipping it closed. The zipper works just as well as it did on the first day. The only thing that like changed, I guess, when I got this is this leather pull came out of the zipper at one point, and I tried to put it back on, but I don't think I did a very good job, because as you can see, like this is really tight, and I don't know. I tried to pull it as tight as I could, but it doesn't have the same pull, like the same length here as when I first got it. And at first I thought maybe it was this length and it snapped, but that doesn't really make sense because it looks like these are nicely cut. In terms of regrets, I can't say I really have any regrets for this. I never really used this flap, so to me, I think it's kind of like not that useful. And I would have said in the past that I wished it were slightly bigger so that I could fit my Tombow markers, since those are the tallest markers that I have in my collection. But since I can fit it, it is a tight fit, but I can fit it, so I don't really have any complaints there. And the fact that this fits inside here, again, I don't know if it was intentional, but I just love that. I think it's so great. Yeah, this thing is really built to last. I've had pouches like this in the past, and there's always something like the zipper breaks, or you end up getting holes in the fabric or holes around here. And I mean, I try not to put sharp objects in here that could potentially poke holes in here, but there's nothing. This is just a really durable canvas on the inside, and the zipper doesn't look like it's going anywhere. There's nowhere for the zipper to get caught in. Like, that's another pet peeve of mine, is I've had too many liners that just get caught in the zipper and then you're ripping it out. I don't have that problem at all with any of my TSL products, so it just seems like they put a lot of care and attention into the things that they make. And I love that this is a wallet and designed for fountain pens, whereas this is something that can be used in so many different ways. I don't wear makeup, but I could easily see this being useful for makeup. I think you could use it for jewelry, painting supplies, the possibilities are endless. So in terms of some pros and cons, obviously I'm biased and I love this product, so bear in mind that this is a biased take. I would say it is really durable. To me, it looks the same as when I got it. It's probably, if anything, just a bit softer, but it hasn't even really patinaed that much. Can fit a lot. It's made with leather, so I feel like that's really durable, but I can understand that if you are not into using leather products, this might not be for you. It's handmade by TSL in Japan, so just like my pen wallet, I just think it's so cool that it was all made in the same place by the same team of people. And in terms of cons, it is really expensive. It's more expensive than the pen wallet. Like the pen wallet, and like many TSL products, it's harder to acquire, and it seems like there's limited availability. I think that getting one of these is easier than getting a pen wallet, because to my knowledge, you can only buy the pen wallet from Wonder Pens or secondhand, whereas a lot of retailers sell this utility case. I just think maybe TSL doesn't make as many of them, so if you do want one of these and you can't find one in stock, I would sign up for email notifications so you can grab one of these when they are back in stock. And I guess another con is it is a little bit bulky. I really love how compact and slim this is, even though it can only really be used for pens and maybe a bit of cash. This can get bulky, like at least if it's not too full, it can kind of squish down, which is nice. But when it's full and when I'm traveling with it, it can bulk out. So that's something to keep in mind. When I'm wanting to travel outside of my home, I have to usually have a backpack or a tote bag that I can put this into, whereas this could fit in my purse if I really wanted to, so something to keep in mind. And then in terms of some other options, I would love to hear from you if you have any suggestions on alternatives or substitutes for this utility case. A few that came to mind for me when I was looking, one is the Delfonics carrying case. These carrying cases are so cute, and I've waffled back and forth between getting one myself. Ultimately, what stops me is I think this utility case is enough. Another one is the LIHIT Lab Zipper Pencil Case Double. That one seems the most comparable to this. I've linked the main site below in the description so you can see like all the different product options that this company makes. And I've seen this company sell on Amazon, and they are much more affordable, and I don't think they are made from leather. Another one, which is probably equally expensive but really cute, are the Hobonichi drawer pouches. Those come in different sizes and also different materials, so not leather, which would make them even more lightweight. I've been so tempted by the drawer pouches as well, but I honestly haven't come across a fabric style that I'm in love with. And I also go back and forth all the time about what size I would want to get if I were to get one. So I've held off for now. I might get a drawer pouch in the future. I think it would be kind of cute to be able to carry my Hobonichis in it, although knowing that you can actually fit this inside the pouch is kind of a cool discovery. Another thing about the Hobonichi drawer pouches is I think they're a lot more slim. All right, that is everything that I wanted to cover today in my long-term review of my Superior Labor Utility Leather Case. If you have any questions or feedback on this video, I would love to hear from you in my comments below. Otherwise, thank you so much for sticking around if you're still here. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you soon in the next video.